Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back for another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber BoshNRoll, I am playing 8 Mulch with a big spicy twist. Yes, this is the same person who sent in limited resources the first time. Then we turned it into land destruction, and now we're back again. The first time I played limited resources for BoshNRoll, I tucked it into a Naya Death Shell, and the card was not good, I gotta say. It only destroyed a land twice in the league, if I recall, and both times it was my land. And only once did we actually get to 10 lands in play where nobody could play lands anymore. But we're playing a deck that can throw lands into play faster than anything else, and it has a workaround to break parity after the limited resources, both of which are enabled by Manabond. At the beginning of your end step, you may reveal your hand and put all lands from it onto the battlefield. If you do, discard your hand. This could play 10 lands in 2 or 3 turns and just make the land drop game over. It also doesn't play lands. It put lands into play from the effect resolving, and limited resources doesn't say lands can't come into play. It says players can't play lands. Manabond can keep dumping lands long after limited resources has locked your opponent out of the game, and then your Wastelands and Ghost Quarter can take them off the couple of lands they have. That's the dream anyway. You'll notice this is a responsible 2 of, just tucked into this otherwise normal looking Magic deck. Outside of the limited resources, this deck that was popular probably about a year ago, at least earlier last year, just chucks a bunch of cards into play as quick as possible. It's kind of a force check deck where Manabond and Exploration are both challenging permanents to beat, and then they both help you pay out your 8 Mulches, which is the name of the deck. Mulch, 1 and a green sorcery, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all lands revealed this way into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. And Winding Way does the same thing, but you can choose creature or land. You're always going to choose land in this deck. It has only 2 creatures in the sideboard, but it's functionally just a second Mulch. Draw 3 or 4 cards for 2 mana, pretty insane, and then your Manabond and Exploration let you pay it out. Your primary win condition is 3 copies of Field of the Dead. You can make a zillion zombies as early as turn 1. If you're on the draw, you draw up to 8 cards, cast Manabond, then throw 6 lands into play. If one of them's Field of the Dead and they all have different names, that's a turn 1 army in a can. Or it could show up at any point, but Manabond chucking those around. Light from the Loam lets you draw 3 cards a turn, and then you throw them all into play. If you get Wasteland looping, you can put multiple Wastelands into play a turn. It gets really gross really fast if your opponent can't check it. The lands I have selected for this deck, there's some pretty obvious stock options like Thespian Stage and Dark Depths are in here. The 4 Wastelands are in there. I played 1 Ghost Quarter. I've seen 0 to 3 in lists when I was doing my homework. There's 3 Mazavith in the list. BoshNRoll sent me 4. I think that's a little too much. And I've seen lists with as low as 1, but I do like 3. I've lost a lot of games to Mazavith on the other side of the table recently, and I want to be the bad guy. I included a Hall of Heliod's Generosity, since we're white anyway, and all of our primary payoffs for our engines are enchantments. That seemed like a fun one to include. Tabernacle's in here. This is not a card I've been impressed with historically, or at least not in the last couple years, but this is a deck that can reduce the opponent to 0 lands in play, and then hopefully keep them there. Tabernacle could be a hard lock. As far as the sideboard, BoshNRoll's list had 2 Leyline of the Void and an Urborg in the main deck to cast it as a backup plan. I just went 4 Endurance, cut the Urborg for a second Yavimaya. Urborg just doesn't do anything else for the deck. And Endurance is an on-color card that does a pretty good leyline impression. Pyroblast on the splash in here. Because we're white, we get Swords of Plowshares and Deafening Silence. I considered some Torpor Orbs to try to respect the initiative, but this is the type of deck that can just go over the top of the initiative. And I hope that that is how that matchup goes if we run into it. Got a bunch of Mazaviths to slow down their aggression. My zombies will eventually overwhelm their squad. That's the plan anyway. And there it is. This is limited resources 8 mulch. Let's do it. I'm on the draw in round 1. I have a Manabond and a Winding Way. I'm going to keep. That's a good start. If you suspect access to white mana, sometimes you want to hold back the bond because you don't want to get it prismatic endinged. Once upon a time, these decks usually don't play prismatic ending. What are you? Are you elves? Are you certain builds of painter? All right, elves confirmed. Could have been some kind of Hogak deck. Metal Sentinel. Okay, the race is on. Metal Sentinel is the type of start that can result in a turn 2 victory. And I have an option here of chucking the Winding Way, letting Wasteland and Ghost Quarter come into play this turn. But I think I still want to Mana Bond, give them a turn, do what they're going to do, and then Winding Way. I'm going to decline the Mana Bond and hope I don't die. Okay, they're going to combat. That's good. That usually means you're not going to die this turn, as their combo payoff is a big combat step. Here's the Shep. Miss your land drop, miss your land drop. They couldn't be so kind. Okay. Here's Savannah. I'm going to play Plains, and I'm going to Winding Way for lands. And then we're going to chuck this into play. Really looking for a Field of the Dead here. Lands. I milled 2 spells and hit 2 lands that mostly aren't good. Disappointing. Okay, it's go time. Yes. Put all these permanents into play. I'm going to respond to Bojuka Bog with Wasteland. Get their land out of there. Forever. They are a deck with basics, so Ghost Quarter is not ideal here. And now I need to get something going. I need to find a Loam or another Mulch or a Field of the Dead. Just do this on the slow. Didn't produce Dark Depths, didn't produce Field. It's kind of hurting here. Zenith for 1 off of Cradle. Can't stop you. If they're getting Heritage Druid here, they just have their engine. Fun. I tried. Natural Order. Hoof, there it is. This is 13 damage. I'm technically still alive. Okay, let's find a Mulch and get back out of this. Just like a Mazavith goes a long way here. Oh, I drew a Mulch. Let's party. Green, white, Mulch. Give me some good ones. Forest and Wooded Foothills. Bummer, man. Okay, I guess we're dead. 4 or 5s. Yeah, just dead. Needed a maze or some blockers or something there. So 18 cards without a payoff is what it is. Okay, Swords of Plowshares comes in. And what comes out? Probably Bojuka Bog. I don't want to go too hard on the lands here, but like you need a critical mass of them to hit with your mulches and stuff. But all the spells are basically uncuttable, except for limited resources, and that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. I think I got Stomping Ground if Pyroblast isn't coming in. Let's check if there's a worse tech land. Arrakis casts Plow. Ghost Quarter's fine. Dark Depths, Seiju, all good. All right, let's go. On the play. This is a Dark Depths Snapkeep. Even off Yavimaya, so we get the stones here. Do like 20/20s. Yes, I'd like to use Manabond's ability. Oh, Field comes into play tapped. What a beating. It's not a turn 1. Bad. Metal Sentinel. I'm going to dredge Loam. Loam hit Wasteland and Hall. I can cast Loam. It pays for itself because I get the 2 land drops. I'll play the Wasteland, and then in my end step trigger, put Hall in. Oh, I'm going to waste them. Yeah. For a target non-basic land. And now they have to beat a 20/20 with a Nettle Sentinel. Freon Ranger. 2 of a forest. Can't imagine this is good enough. Thespian Stage to copy Dark Depths. I'll keep the one with no counters on it. And 2020 time. A Dredge Loam, I could just keep doing this forever. Just saw Tabernacle and limited resources off that dredge. I'm giving away the tech. Flat. Yeah, we were an ETB tap land away from doing that turn 1, but it was still pretty good. Okay, same deck. It doesn't get better. Let's go. First game without a Manabond, but I do have the mono-colorless start with Tabernacle and Wasteland and Maze of Ith. I'm going to try this. This is the complete other side of the deck. Oh, good. They started on Leyline versus a hand that doesn't care about it that much. Zenith. Okay. There's a source of mana if I want it, but I mostly don't. I'm going to play this Tabernacle and just put them under the gun immediately. Dryad Arbor can pay for itself. I can Wasteland something and down the road they'll be in trouble. I hope. Or they just combo me out in spite of it and I lose right now. Ranger. Ranger and no Cradle. Okay. Crop rotation. What do? You get me Dark Depths to go with this Thespian Stage down the road. And they missed a land drop. I'm going to Wasteland this Dryad Arbor. Play the control game. They have a land, after all. Heritage Druid. These can tap to make 1 mana together. Mulch, that's not really helpful right now. What's in my deck that would be good with this crop rotation? I could just flip into Maze of Ith in an emergency. Drop the limited resources. That doesn't help me right now, though. I'm going to play the Catacombs and just start working towards this Thespian Stage, Dark Depths. And I'm leaving up crop rotation for Maze of Ith as an out in an emergency. Yavimaya would really make this hand sing. There's just so many lands that I want to play that don't tap for mana. The Tabernacle, the Maze. Zenith for 0. A Dryad Arbor. Must have a plan for that, because that's just an object that sits in play right now. Another Mulch. I can play Field of the Dead now. They've been sandbagging Cradle. They can try to do a big thing this turn. I'm going to invest in Field of the Dead when I'm not really doing anything else with the mana. They can pay for all their objects here and leave 1 mana up with the Birchler Ranger. They have Cradle plus tap the 2 elves. They can natural order. Getting Progenitus is rough here. Tabernacle is legendary, so I can't copy it and have a good time with Thespian Stage. Attacking for 2 without a land drop. Another crop rotation. Does the second crop rotation win me the game? If I rotate Tabernacle into Yavimaya, is there a shortcut here? I feel like there is. I'm going to let them play their turn, and then I'll do the math in their end step. Uh-oh, it's Cradle time. Glimpse, am I dead? Firewood Symbiote, notably not an elf. Heritage Druid's not on yet. Brigand Ranger's really good here. That is both an elf and an untapped Dryad Arbor. I don't play a Glacial Chasm. That's a card I opted not to include in the deck. Played a huge pile of Maze of Iths instead. Second Glimpse, alright. Yeah, they are going for it here. There's Allosaurus Shep. Another Shepherd. There's no Nettle Sentinels involved here. All of these elves are just down and dirty. Blur Ranger. That is a 3rd elf for another 3 mana here. Very good chance that I lose this turn. Zenith for 1. Got a Symbiote instead of a Nettle Sentinel. Scary. Symbiote's really good too. It can untap Dryad Arbor for an extra mana and just untap an elf for free while drawing 2 cards. Or you can untap elves and try to shortcut to Heritage Druid. Brigand Ranger gives them another untap as well. Wow, we're moving into combat. Good news, everybody. Okay, time to figure out how to win the game. Gonna fetch in the end step. I'll get this basic forest. Load a mana off Field of the Dead, then crop rotate Field of the Dead into Yavimaya, then Tabernacle taps for green and gets Dark Depths, which also taps for green. Yeah, it's here. Crop rotate Field of the Dead. to Yavimaya. And then float a green. Oh, I should keep Tabernacle around and rotate this forest away. That's better. Up rotate the forest, the depths, and then add a green, copy Dark Depths. Keep the one with no counters. Ooh, do they have Assassin's Trophy? They're tapping mana. Good shit. Glad I kept the Tabernacle. And that is my only depths, so that's out. I'll get a Plains Forest here. And it's Tabernacle time. I have to, I guess, mulch into a wasteland for this to be an important Tabernacle. Okay, I'm gonna mulch on wasteland. Azavith and Savannah, shit. Lost 2 winding ways. Well, we might be in trouble. I'll play out the Mazavith, and I can't destroy the Cradle right now, so they're gonna get a turn. Got a lot of creatures to pay for, but Cradle pays for them all. I couldn't plow a Shepherd or a Heritage Druid on my turn. They have 2 of each. And I have to try to be alive after a Shepherd activation. The second Cradle activate is GG. Free Combat Symbiote. Oh, right. Because of my Yavimaya Cradle is a forest. Yeah, they just had it. All right. Yep. I got outflanked here. I guess the other thing I could have done, GG. The other thing I could have done is just not go for Dark Depths. If I just let this squad hang out here and then rotate or dig for a wasteland, hit the Cradle, they can pick it up, which I would have missed, but it's at least it's out of play. And then they got to figure that out. GG's. On to the next round. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. Hey, so I have made a mistake that I've only made one time before, which is forgot to hit the record button. You are finding me on turn 7 of game 1 here against a deck that played Watery Grave on turn 1. I wastelanded it, and then last turn they played Lion's Eye Diamond. I played this whole game like they were Death Shadow, and they were missing land drops, but I now suspect there's some sort of Doomsday hybrid, or it could even just be straight up Doomsday, or because Forced Days, they forced my Manabond. You've seen Forced Days, Brainstorm, Ponder, Watery Grave. Sometimes Watery Grave is just the 5th Overgrown or Underground Sea out of Doomsday decks. I'm gonna Dredge Loam. I've been waiting for a mulch for a while, or I've been waiting for an exploration for a while. Field of the Dead. Now they're on notice that I'll be attacking soon. And 6, 7, 8. We are 2 lands away from limited resources stopping any lands for the rest of the game. Yeah, I might just get combo killed here. In fact, it seems pretty likely. Just gotta hope they go all in on a graveyard line that I can Bajuka Bog, and they don't have counter magic. But the way this game shaped up, they had a lot of cards in their hand for a long time. I thought I could never lose when I got the second Mazavith against Death Shadow, but surprise, it's not Death Shadow. They should be able to win without going through the graveyard. At this number of resources, they still have Island up with LED. Can be done. Gotta check my board here. Ghost Quarter. I think this is a May. Yeah, they may search. You can't force a shuffle off Ghost Quarter. The Seiju is also a May. Yeah, I don't have a good plan for Doomsday here. Here are the cards they exiled. Are they a hybrid, or is it just Doomsday with a Watery Grave? Appears to be just Doomsday with a Watery Grave. Oh. Okay, the Deep Analysis was just in their hand. And they're going to try to draw Lotus Petal and Oracle right now. Can I do anything to stop that? By making this pause, I'm giving away that I have crop rotation, but I don't think that matters. They don't need the land. They could just float the mana. Yep, that works. Street Wraith, 2 cards left. Anthos' Oracle with a bonus card. Just making one last check here, but I'm fairly confident that we're dead. Yep. Okay. They did a really good job leading on Watery Grave and just making me think they were something else so long that it just, my whole game plan collapsed around it. All right. Endurance is in, sorry, limited resources. I'm not goofing around against Doomsday. The Pyroblasts are not bad. They don't combo with Manabond, but they do offer some sort of resistance. I like all my spells. If I want all of these cards in the deck, I have to cut 5 lands here. Going down to 31 lands, so it's like mulches are 50-50. You can expect 2 lands out of a mulch at that point. Mazes of Ith can come out. That's an easy one. I like Wasteland. I don't really need basics against this deck, but my green sources are not exactly in the stratosphere. The Jukabog is non-zero. Blast Zone is bad. I don't think I can cut a Field of the Dead. That's a win condition. Oh, Tabernacle doesn't do anything. Perfect. Yep. All right. 31 lands, 29 spells. Almost the perfect Garfield intended. I'm on the play. I have interaction, multiple pieces. I'm going to keep... I wish this was Taiga instead of Stomping Ground, because if I shock this in, they're going to know I have something. But they probably expect crop rotation more than Pyroblast. This hand is a quick Merit Lage with Pyroblast and Endurance if I need them. I'm just running with it. Opponent mold to 5. Ooh, Exploration. Yavimaya, Exploration. Thespian Stage. Let's go. Just going to counter it. Manabond is a card in my deck, and if I draw that, then I lose my hand anyway. It's another Ponder. On my turn, I'm going to crop rotation for Wasteland. I'm going to use the stage. Crop rotation. Get this Wasteland. Wasteland my opponent. Play from the loam. Get back both of these lands. I still have both land drops I can make. Thespian Stage, Wasteland, and I can crop rotation again and get Ghost Quarter, or I could just start dredging loam and hold up this Endurance. I think the Endurance is the play. Opponent's making a move. Back to fetch real quick. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. That happens. They Doomsdayed with 2 cards left. It's not Force blue card, I guess. Maybe I'm supposed to fire off Wasteland before the Doomsday resolves. That way they can't Edge of Autumn for free. The tough beat here is crop rotation is my green card for Endurance. Loam can be a green card for Endurance. Then I can't cast Loam. If I put them to 0 lands right now, that doesn't matter. I can also hard cast Endurance next turn. What left the deck? We're doing a Force of Will count. 1. Oh, they even had Force of Negations in. 1, 2, 3, 4 Force of Negations. Force of Will. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all 8 forces are accounted for. Opposition Agent, Yuseko. Personal Tutor. 2 Oppos. Don't see any Sheoldreds. They're probably right that that's not what this matchup's about. 2 Edge of Autumn in exile. We saw a Street Wraith game 1. There's 1 in exile here. Okay, 2 cards left. They're not Force of Will. Brainstorm. I think I gotta let them have this. Because if I crop rotation and just machine gun these lands in response to this, then I lose my green card for Endurance. They've made a land drop, so they need a Lotus Petal to make this happen, which is a 3rd card in the graveyard. Okay, they're passing the turn. In step, a crop rotation, away the stage. I get Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter. Don't need to act right now. I can draw, or I'm dredging Loam, so I didn't really need to wait. Dredge Loam. Ghost Quarter your island. Wasteland your Underground Sea. And I can hold up Pitchcast Endurance. If I cast Loam right now, I could lose due to lack of green cards. 2, 1, 2, yeah. I get back 3, I can only play 2. Yeah. I'm just giving away that Endurance is in my hand, but I've made a line betting that they don't have anything. Deep Analysis is the play. Lotus Petal. I mean, this is not great for me because... Oh, if they go for it, the Oracle's in play. Yeah, this is fine. Get all your cards on the bottom, and unless they're going to try to beat me down with Oracle and Street Wraith against Loam, okay. Pretty well. They've taken some artifact-heavy lines, which make me wonder if I want Collector Roof, but it was hard enough getting all these cards in the deck. I could back off of Manabond, because I have all these interactive cards in, I'm not likely to just chuck my hand. Yeah, if I'm beating up on their lands, I probably want the Oof to stop the artifact mana too. Got the Endurance, and the Loam, and the Exploration. This is a keep. About as good as it gets. Folds to a Thoughtseize, but I'm out here. I'm gonna fetch first and get the Savannah. I don't want to play Yavimaya if I don't have to. And I'll shock in Stomping Ground to bluff that I have Aeroblast. They saw me make this play last game, and I want to make them think about it now. Loam is my only green card for Endurance, but I can hardcast Endurance with money left over next turn. There's the Ritual. There's the Doomsday. Okay, we're going for it. It's happening. If my hand has Exploration and Pyroblast in it, that's a pretty good start. And I've sold Pyroblast. I guess this just doesn't get better for them as time goes on, unless they would have to wait to find an interactive spell, which if they already have, then they win. I think Wasteland's one of my better draws now. Pyroblast is my best draw. Then I can protect my Endurance. Okay, 49 cards in exile. Doing a force check. 1, 2, 3, 4. All Force of Wills are accounted for. Force of Negation, 1, 2, 3. Force of Negation in the mix somewhere. They Thoughtseize me, that's tough. Wasteland and Pyroblast are the draws I want right now. Crop Rotation. I don't think you're bad, though. You do anything? Oh, I can Crop Rotate for Wasteland. That's one of the things I just said I wanted to do. And I'm not playing around Days. Do I need to play around Days? Crop Rotation's also a green card for Endurance. I think I can give up on my Savannah here. Have a Wasteland and try to pressure. This is at least another card in the graveyard. Okay, they had the Edge. Let's hope they needed the mana, though. They just shove straight into Days. That's not what's happening. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. I don't see a land yet. If they have Pact of Negation, they win. Didn't see that in previous games. Subtlety. Good shit. Okay, you got me. All right. Yep, they had a blue card pitching Subtlety. GG. Yeah, that was cool. Good tech. Just the 9th Force of Will, basically, that I was not ready for, and didn't have the Pyroblast. I feel like I did what I could there. I could have responded to one of the cycles and just hope that their pile couldn't answer on the timetable they needed to answer on. Maybe just putting a bunch of these back in. But if you Endurance before they commit the Oracle, they can rebuild the combo. All right. Yeah, you got me. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round number 3 with no acceleration. I do have a turn 4 or turn 3 Merit Lage with the Yavimaya. I guess I keep these. And crop rotation for Bajuka Bog has me insulated against some stuff. Yeah, I'll just play a green source and pass. My opponent also is on the green source pass strategy. Here's Thespian Stage. Got a move happening over there. Uh-oh. Blue mana, my arch nemesis. Baleful Strix, my other arch nemesis. Strix isn't really that bad because I can Visage it, and if they think it's going to keep them safe, they will be mistaken. I'm going to get and then immediately crop rotate a basic forest. If they counter this crop rotation, it's fine. We'll just grind. And if they don't, I'll play Dark Depths. Could be a Wasteland deck, could be a Stifle deck, could be a Brazen Borrower or Edict deck. I am just going to pass with my lands still where they are and hope this works. Let's hope they tap out for Narset or some shit that I don't care about right now. Thunder did not shuffle. Opponent did not attack. Oh, let's go for it. Going in here. Keep the stage. Make it 2020. And I'll play Maze of Ith. They're all forests. It's all good. I go to attacks. And then before blocks, I will Besage you this Baleful Strix and hope they're dead. Emergency Brainstorm. I can't Stifle with Swamp. I can't think of a 1 black answer to Merit Lage. Oh, right, they get to search. It's not a 1 black answer. If they have Brazen Borrower or such, they can win here. No, don't tap mana. Oh, Ice Fang Waddle. Sure. Okay, this is starting to look like a Lauren if they have both of these things in their deck. And combat damage is over, but I'm going to untap my Merit Lage for good measure, in case I need a block. Now I feel bad about this game. I felt good 1 second ago, and now we're going to lose. My Yavimaya gave them a Lauren. Cool. Here you have a Harpy, Waddle, Regardless Agent. Oh, you're this build. Cascade into Abrupt Decay. That's not going to help you. Second Uro. Jamming that one in. Okay, now we're dead. Yeah, Harpy plus Uro is GG. Okay. Bummer. Force of Vigor, Swords to Plowshares are probably cards I want. Pyroblast, likely a card I want. Playing against a lot of combo with this land pile of mine. Maze of Ith seems medium. Juka Bog can hit Uro, but Tabernacle seems medium. Last one actually seems fine. But I had saved my Beseju for a Lauren. Maybe we're in a different world. Once again, another combo deck. Sorry, limited resources. It is what it is. You know what you are. Okay, I'm going to cut the Bajuka Bog and hope that the fair Uro half of the deck doesn't come into play. I'm going to mulligan this, knowing I'm against a combo deck now. This is not enough. Okay, there is a Beseju here, but it's my only green source. I could waste and pick it back up, I guess. I'll keep this and bottom a Mulch. Jam this Field of the Dead and pass. Island Go from the opponent. Beseju is my land. You are correct to believe I'm not happy about that. Strix off of another basic land. I should probably start rotating. Turn this field into something else. I have Loam, I can recoup this stuff. It's not a big deal. Okay, snapped off the Force of Will. That's why I sacked the land that was not my green source. Second Loam. Not what I'm looking for. The Force pitched Brainstorm. Taking my beats from Baleful Strix, and let's see if I'm dead here. I am going to dredge Loam, hit Thespian Stage, and Savannah. None of that is very good. Is there anything that is good? Not really. I can cast the Loam and hold up green for the same crop rotation I would have been representing otherwise. We're seeing in action in real time the control deck with a combo kill angle, because if this was just bug whatever, I would feel immensely favored in the matchup, but knowing that they could just tap 4 mana and kill me at any point is a tough one. Dredge Loam, hit a bunch of spells, and Yavimaya. Hit Thespian Stage. I'm now representing Dark Depths. They're representing Hardcast Force now, which is fine, even if they counter this crop rotation. The Seiju is still in the graveyard, which is where I want it. Fuck. Okay, you get one of my lands. This is less fine. And if they do a count and realize I only have 1 Dark Depths, they can take that whole angle off of the deck. Or they could just take Wasteland and hold that up against my combo. There's a lot of options for them here, and none of them are good for me. Did take the Dark Depths. That angle no longer exists. I'm going to charge my Blast Zone up to 2 and take a draw step. Play from the Loan, pick up a Seiju and Yavimaya as well. Wasteland doesn't matter. Field of the Dead doesn't matter yet. Don't want to give them green like I did last game. Guess I'll play Wasteland. None of it matters, but this card at least represents some kind of interaction. Or my green source would have let me Beseiju and Alurin. Such a clown. Yeah, this league is going rough. I'm not gonna lie. A technical problem on my side, a play problem, pairing into 3 combo decks in a row. Tough beat here for our hero. Well, they didn't fetch green. Brainstorm. There's a second green. And me with the not ability to channel Beseiju because I just have no excuse, but I just can't do it. I don't know. Cavern Harpy, they can draw 16 cards here. I generally believe that's going to be enough. Yeah, we don't have to sit here and watch this. If they had backup, there's a chance they could go off in response to the Beseiju, but yeah, there's just no excuse for it. I just forgot that this card was interaction. I even said Wasteland doesn't do anything, but it represents some kind of interaction, and I had actual viable interaction, and I got nothing for that one. Let's go play another round. I'm going to take a walk in between and try to wake up. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw for round 4, hopefully refreshed here. Opponent's on a mull to 6. This hand does not do anything. I'm going to mulligan it. Crop rotation and 2 mulches. In crop rotation, I guess I'll keep this. It's not much better than the last one, but it does at least rotate, which is some form of agency. Got an Underground Sea pass from the opponent on a mull to 6. Getting the combo vibes. Verdant Catacombs. Now I'm feeling like specifically Storm. Second crop rotation. Okay, I'll play Yavimaya. I was going to play Field, but now I have 2 reasons to cast spells. Third land. Thoughtseize. Okay, it's going to see these 2 crop rotations. I have 2 of the card that might matter at all. Confirmed 4th round of combo in a row. If it's Storm, they can ad nauseum with impunity. They can't Past in Flames through a crop rotation. I got that going at least. They took a mulch. That's interesting. They're trying to stop the refill here. Play from the loam. Guess I will refill. That's what they were worried about. I can still crop rotate. Something's happening in response here. Tropical Island and Bayou. They just tap blue-black, then untapped blue-black. Can't drown in the lock here. Only 1 card in my graveyard. Force of Negation pitching drown in the lock. I'm all over this shit. Okay. My mulch is gone. But Force of Negation is out. I no longer think they're Storm. They are some kind of bug Magic cards deck. Bruname Nemesis. Cool. Yep. That Mazavith looking sharp. Merit Lage does beat this. I'm going to rotate one of my crops now, ship this Maze of Ith. We get Thespian Stage, Manabond right on time. Just going to try to make Merit Lage this turn. But I think they're more likely to have removal or Wasteland or a counterspell. They should probably cast the rotation at least right now. With only one card in their hand, they can't force Dark Depths. I'm just going to make the jerk. This could be a Wasteland deck. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm just going to make a 20/20 against their one card in hand. And Life from the Loam Manabond is a nice refill if somehow this doesn't work. Checking for 3 cards in hand. I'll make my attack. See what happens. Are we getting co-opted? Oh no, Endurance. Well, that fucks up my hand. I could still fetch. Yeah, trying to loam pre-combat wouldn't have stopped this. Oh, they targeted nobody? Fascinating. Alright, I don't know why nobody was targeted, but I'm into it. Life from the Loam targeting Field of the Dead, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage. He's all back in my hand. World's goofiest Endurance. I'll play the Manabond. I don't need Exploration if I'm Manabonding. Yes, put these in. The next Merit Lage is ready, and the Field of the Dead is online next turn. Okay, cool. Managed to get through that one. Alright, they're not a combo deck, or at least it doesn't seem like it. Aeroblast is an option here. We saw Force of Negation in their deck, which means they have at least 5 forces. I'm going to leave in the limited resources. I'm going to give them a chance here. Rename Nemesis as the threat is kind of concerning on the Maze of Ith level. And they showed me main deck Endurance. Likely an Uro deck for Caracas. Tabernacle can remove a Rename Nemesis if I'm in just Omega land control mode. I don't know if this deck's going to have basics. 3-color decks that are trying to cast Endurance and True Name Nemesis. It's a blue-blue and a green-green spell. They're probably not that high on basics, would be my guess. I'm going to cut my basic planes and just rock out like this. Speaking of rocking out, I'll keep this Manabond hand. It's not doing much else, but it does have Manabond. And if they Thoughtseize me, it has Exploration. Okay. Basic Swamp confirmed. Ghost Quarter right here in the mix. Yavimaya, Exploration. Sucks on my green sources, Yavimaya. Now this stupid Basic Swamp also makes another color in their deck. Force of Will pitching Baleful Strix. Okay. They've gone down to 3 cards in hand to deal with my 2 engines. And now I just have to play land drop game. There's a mulch. I'm going to play stage and then mulch. They Thoughtseized and forced mulches last game. They want to keep fighting here. Can I get another 2 cards off of Force of Will? They're fetching. Drown in the Lock is on right now, if they want to do that. And they've seen Ghost Quarter, so now they have kind of a weird choice to make of fetch a basic to play around Wasteland. Right. Yep, I would not fetch a basic here either. Oh, just brainstorming in response. Cool. I wanted them to force this. If they do an awkward brainstorm into force this, that's even better. Extra value. Jukabog and Thespian Sage losing limited resources in Pyroblast. Well, those are cool cards, but I could not cast them. The Jukabog is... I feel pretty good about that in this matchup. Eventually that's going to hit an Uro or something that cares about it. Mystic Sanctuary tapped. Okay. Unless they have a second basic swamp, I can take them off a whole color with Ghost Quarter right now. And I'm here for that. I could copy Ghost Quarter with stage first. Oh no, I can't, because that would use my mana. I'm going to hit the swamp. Do you have a basic? If you do, is it a second swamp? Did I just take you off a color? There is an island in the deck. Cool with me. They did not draw a land. They showed me by playing Mystic Sanctuary last turn that they didn't have a different land to play. I'm not sure if I want a bog right away. I'm going to play Field of the Dead. Get that going. Drew a land. Sad times. I'm looking for an engine, a Manabond, a Loam, Exploration. Certainly not a Tabernacle. A Wooded Foothills. That's representing Pyroblast, which they've now seen. Step dress down. Oh, main phase dress down. Okay, sure. This is a player who's trying to draw cards. Trying to get out of a sticky situation. I'll probably copy their forest, or their island in the end step. Yavimaya makes it tap for green anyway, and they can't wasteland my stage in that world. I also have 2 other stages in my hand and Field of the Dead in play. I want to get a different name on this thing. I hope they Thoughtseize me. We know they're in the deck. Uh-oh, found another land. End step, stage, copy, island. How about a spell? Not a spell. Another Thespian stage. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They would have to run our lands to get Uro in play and then out of the graveyard before I can bog them, which could happen. I just hope it doesn't. And they just shuffled, so it wasn't runner lands on top. Thoughtseize me. That was not the black mana I wanted you to spend. Yep. They went from missing a land drop to many lands in play very quickly. Mulch? Do I want to be mulching here? I just play Maze of Ith. Mulch can hit Loam. Worth doing. Don't know that I'm really in the wasteland pocket right now, but it's a card I could hit. Or some negation. And I'm going to bog now. They're close enough to Uro that I want this thing under control. I can take a hit from Baleful Strix. And then next turn I'm in the Field of the Dead with a fetch land. Even copy Misty Rainforest with Thespian Stage in the end step and have 2 fetch lands. Go straight to zombie mode. End of turn. Thespian Stage, copy Misty Rainforest. They could just fetch in response to fizzle this, but then they don't have a fetch. Whatever. Kind of free. And then as I get above 7 total lands in play, I'm going to start copying Field of the Dead. Fetch in response. Fair enough. Hopefully that messes up a cantrip later on. Ooh. Did they fail to find? No, was that Underground Sea there before? I don't know. I blinked. I think they found Underground Sea. Can't really wasteland here. Tabernacle is more annoying for me than it is for them, so Maze of Ith, you're the winner. And now I'm in the field. Thespian Stage in play. This is the grindy game against Fair Blue we've been looking for the whole league. They countered our busted stuff, and then we're just making land drops to kill them. This is where they reveal they've had a combo all along. Yeah, that card's annoying, but Field of the Dead can race it. I'm going to save my fetch land, especially in the face of True Name Nemesis, until I have several fields in play. In step, I can copy Field, which goes down to 6 different lands in play, but as long as I play a different one now, I get 2 zombies. Winding Way. Cool. How about another Thespian Stage? That's a new name. Get 2 zombies out of the deal, and I can Winding Way. Do they want to keep fighting over these? I'll name land. Did I just miss? I milled Manabond, Crop Rotation, Winding Way, and Limited Resources. Cool. This league is a heater. Next turn, I'm going to untap with 3 Field of the Deads in play, and then I'll have 4 the turn after that. And they better have a combo kill in there, or some messed up equipment to put on this True Name Nemesis to win the race. And if they batter skull up the True Name, then yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble. Targeted nobody with Endurance again. They like that play. True Name's ready to start poking. Sure. Baleful Strix getting into. Yeah, they got to win this game somehow. They don't have inevitability. They do have evasive creatures. They backed off on the Strix, but True Name's still coming in. End step, Thespian Stage, copy Field of the Dead. Draw for turn, Life from the Loam. Are you good? Certainly cast you. I'll play the 4th Thespian Stage, getting 3 zombies for my effort. And I think it's time to start attacking, making 6 zombies this turn. I trade with the Baleful Strix, get eaten by Endurance, push for 2. Have a bunch more things in play. Oh, a second Endurance. Sure. I can Maze of Ith one of my zombies out of play. Or I could have done that anyway. Are they ready to target anyone yet? Nope. Still not targeting anyone with Endurance in the Life from the Loam matchup. Gonna maze a zombie that's being blocked by endurance, trade with the Strix, lose 1. And do I want a loam? Only 1 land in my graveyard. No, I'm good. I'm saving this fetch land until it's worth 4 zombies. Just the greediest. Doing something in the end step. Sudden Edict. Okay, I'll sack the zombie. The one that I saved. It fought valiantly against endurance. Braved a terrifying maze. And came out on the other side. Dead. So technically that's also how it went in. 3 damage from True Name. And time to get big weird. Thespian Stage. Copy Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't use my last stage and get a 5th field yet because that is one of my unique names. Exploration. Oh my god. Okay. Forest. Zombie triggers. I'm going to see if I can flesh out some interaction with this Life from the Loam and then jam the Exploration. Loam target Ghost Quarter. Maybe I should fetch first. I'll fetch first. Try to make the Loam look enticing. Get a Savannah. Life from the Loam targeting Wooded Foothills and Ghost Quarter. Okay, that just resolved. Oh, let's test on the Exploration then. Okay. Good patience. Do have the counter magic after all. Next turn, I'll have 5 Field of the Deads and a fetch land. Make 10 zombies. Opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. I'm on a 4-turn clock from True Name. And yep, they can't get through it. That's more like it. The fair decks versus the lands decks. Normally I'm on the other side of this feeling awful, but glad I could make my opponent feel awful. I don't think I resolved a meaningful spell that whole game, and it didn't matter. Just make your land drops and win. 05 dodged. Be your guard. We did it. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw for the final round, I got double crop rotation, no loam, no anything else. There is a wasteland in this hand. I think I got a mulligan this. I don't know, I've kept hands on the strength of crop rotation before. I'm sending it. This is much worse. It's just 4 lands and then Dark Depths. Go to 5. Chase it. Chase the dream. Jesus Christ. Well, I've chased it this far. Okay, here we go. Keep this one. Mulch plus loam is actually the most exciting thing we've seen yet. 1, 2. I guess I have to keep the mana to cast the spells, so gotta send the maze. But maze is one I would have liked to buy time with. My opponent said I played against them at the last Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy Open. Cool. Played against a lot of people that day. Oh god, if you Blood Moon me, I'm out. That might be worse. What the shit? Okay. So this looks like initiative with the Archon, which is my nightmare. Pretty much strictly worse than Blood Moon. That's not true. Blood Moon is much worse than this, but this feels worse. I can play Thespian Stage and fetch something, but fetch lands versus Archon of Emir is just such a crapshoot. If they follow this up with anything at all, I'm probably dead. Chose Elemental as their cavern name. That's interesting. White Plume Adventurer is an Orc Cleric. What Elemental are you casting? Is this a Flicker Wisp deck? I don't know what's going on right now, but I don't like it. I think I'm going to fetch a non-basic Forest in the end step and leave the basics in my deck as just outs to maybe play something on curve through the Archon at some point, because non-basic lands enter tapped. I wonder if this cavern was a misclick. Or nope, we're just getting uncounterable solitude. Which Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, that seems kind of likely, actually. That Maze of It that I bottomed would have bought me infinite time here. I am going to fetch the non-basic now. Wasteland, not helpful. I'm going to mulch. Show me Potato Salad. Wasteland and Taiga. I'll drop the Taiga. Not going to be able to waste them out of anything. I can see it coming a mile away when it comes into play tapped. Here's some uncounterable elemental in my end step. Yep. Did it. Do they have 2 solitudes in hand? Is that where this is headed? Oh, they're tapping mana. Oh, okay. They drew that card. It would have been in play if they had it last turn, so that was off the top. Now we're done, for sure. It was already tenuous, but like a mulch into a Maze of Ith was possible. I guess if I draw Dark Depths off the top right now, I could threaten 2020. It's not Dark Depths. I'm gonna Winding Way. Name land. And there's Maze of Ith that comes into play tapped. I'm just already dead. Okay. Turn 1 Archon of Emeria turns out. Jeez. Towards the Plowshares coming in. I think that's it. I don't really want to Force of Vigor this opponent. If they have Chalice of the Void, though, I'm going to need it. Okay. The mazes are great. Tabernacle's medium, unless I really wipe them down to 0 mana sources, including their artifacts, which I'm not bringing in Collector Roof for. I don't think that's the right way to approach this matchup. Tajuka Bog's bad. Tabernacle's on the maybe pile. All the Wasteland stuff is fine. It's the limited resources. Legacy is just too low to the ground for this. We tried. We made a real effort. There was one game where this almost reached the 10 land threshold, but man, this card. I gotta find one more cut. It might just be the Tabernacle. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna have time to lock them out. In we go. I would like to play first. Please give me a nutter. This is not really a nutter, but it's not bad. I am gonna keep. If I drop the Manabond, don't trigger it, and then I can mulch next turn and see where this goes. Use it yet? Not ready. Where they turn 1 Thalia or whatever. Okay. What's the poison? It's Archon again. Cool. There's a forest. Get wrecked, Archon. Mulch my way out of this. Post quarter and Thespian stage. It's still not Manabond time. 2 Winding Ways in my hand. Plus crop rotation. We can go bigger. Nope. This is where they touch the Spirit Realm, my Manabond, and I quit Magic forever. Elite Spellbinder's fine. I can knock out one of the mulches. I have another one. I might just take the crop rotation because it's the unique effect in the hand. It does appear to be the choice. Crop rotation's safer there than it was in my hand. Now I can Manabond. Deal. Ancient Tomb. Let's go. Big draws, bunch of lands. I just want to draw 5 lands this turn. Play from the Loam's a reasonable backup. Winding Way, name land. Okay, big money. Build over an Exploration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually get more lands if I don't make a normal, or more zombies if I don't make a normal land drop here. Just gonna go to end step, fire him in, and go to Zombie Town. Yes. Bang, 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 bang. Bunch of zombies. Even get an untapped forest. Not that that matters, but I have it. Board. 6 zombies. I can crop rotate next turn and dredge loam. I got action. I can do stuff. Got a fetch land. Got a Thespian stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different names. That's your spell for the turn. Now Archon hurts more than it helps when they're behind. I think Spellbinder's going to attack, but Archon's not. Yep. 3 there. Yeah, let's dredge loam. Try to make something happen. Dredge loam. 3 lands in the graveyard. See it. I'm going to attack with all my creatures. You're not in the not attacking business. I could flash in Solitude here, but that's not even enough. And it costs them more life than it saves them with the double Ancient Tomb. We're doing something. A Ganjo. Yeah, sure. Heal. Oh, there's more. Another Aganjo. What's happening? It's the Spirit Realm. Oh, you had this? Does this not exile enchantments? Artifact your creature. Okay. It's not a complete Oblivion Ring. Each of those removal spells involved tapping an Ancient Tomb, so they cost as much life as they got back out of them. Got a big old Life from the Loam here. And in a Thespian stage, copy my Field of the Dead. And then in the end step, we're just going to blast a million zombies into play, and we did it. Okay. Play draw magic. You love it. What you come here for. This deck is not getting any better. I guess I could bring in the Endurances if I want to booty up against their flying grind plan. Endurance is not good against the initiative cards. It's just after the second trigger, it's smaller than White Plume Adventure, and it's always smaller than Seasoned Dungeoneer. But if they're gonna try to nickel and dime me with Hollows and Archons, this might be a plan. Endurance, are you better than Force of Vigor? Maybe. So, holy guacamole, Chalice of the Void is bad for me. There's no more lands I want to cut. I want all my spells. I'm going to bet on Force of Vigor and try to do the thing my deck does rather than try to meet them on their terms with Endurance. Okay, I've got a Mulch and a Manabond. Keeping. Opponent kept 7. Oh no, they mulliganed. Okay. Just haven't bottomed their card yet. 6 cards to start the game. Basic Plains. I like that quite a bit. Can't wasteland at Basic Plains. Gonna fetch for Savannah. They haven't shown me Wasteland yet. I'm not gonna respect it. And I'm not gonna bond because I'd like to mulch once before I do that. Try to make a zombie army on turn 2. Floor end of the third path, no! Yeah, whatever. Played around me. Little trick here, though. I'm gonna play Wasteland. Oh, and Swords to Plowshares. Wasteland you and Swords. Do I care about this card? I think I do. I'll just keep the board clear and hope they went all in on that start. If they play an Archon now, I'll immediately feel bad. But if they start drawing cards and dig out of this, their cards are probably better on average than mine are. Rest in peace. Okay. That angle of the deck is off now. No more loams. Or mulch. Well, I could Force a Vigor if I care. Oh, 4 for 4. I do enjoy drawing 4 cards, I gotta say. I might discard this Force of Vigor now. Because Boseiju can do what Force does. For 1 card. Cavern. Please name a card type that does not give the initiative. Human. Not this turn, maybe next turn. I get to mulch again, try to spike a Wasteland and keep them off it. Swords to Plowshares, not bad. Do I want to mulch into infinite mana here, or like more lands than I can play? I don't know why my brain said infinite mana when I meant the opposite, discard to hand size. What the fuck am I talking about? I can plow a creature or Boseiju the Rip. Besiegeing the Rip is a little risky though. Okay, now I don't care. Because I have so many lands, it doesn't matter. White Plume Adventurer. Maze of Ith can keep this under wraps for a little while. Here's the Boseiju that I was holding on to. Now I feel less bad about mulching into hand size requirements. Ooh, they failed to find all of their lanes are accounted for. Manabond off the top. Ooh, crop rotation. You do. You make Merit Lage. That's what you do. Merit Lage is not safe against this deck, though. It is right here. It's available, but they have Solitude, Touch the Spirit Realm. They have so many things. They have 2 cards in hand on top of this Plains, and they made a bunch of... They made Cavern on Human, they cast a non-human. There's a human in their hand. I'm going to play the Plains, and I guess I pass the turn here. Oh wait, I don't have Merit Lage anyway, because Maze of Ith can't float on the way out. Yeah, okay, I'm going to mulch. Manabond hit the graveyard, disappointing. I'm not going to plow this White Plume Adventurer as long as I have Maze of Ith around. Yeah, they went into the Lost Well anyway. They're trying to pile on, get around the maze. It's 2 Manabonds gone. I have 2 more and the 3 explorations. Trying to get into this Field of the Dead, though. That's how I reasonably win this match. Top bottomed with Scry. Maze of Ith, your creature. You know they're holding Plains. Is it worth checking the City of Traders to get it? Looks like it is. Chrome Mox. Ooh, what are we doing with all this mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, this could be the Angel spell. The flip land, but on the front side. It's just Swords to Plowshares. Looks like they're going in for it. Yep, this is the Angel spell. Which I'm actually fine against. somehow. Yeah, they have indestructible angels, but who gives a shit? I have 2 Mazaviths and a Swords to Plowshares. And they're now hellbent, but they are in the initiative. I could play Mazavith now and rotate it away into something different later to diversify my land names. Go into the stash this turn, Catacombs on the following, and then the Throne of the Dead 3. Yeah, with the Flying Angels and the White Plume Adventurer. Oh, maybe I should have plowed White Plume and no, because then when I Mazavith the Angels, they're untapped under Merit Lage anyway. It's going to keep absorbing damage and trying to draw an Exploration effect. Another Field of the Dead. I'll play the one they've actually seen. Not that they're any different. You get a Spooky Skeleton. Keep attacking. They just love clicking. I'm not going to forget. 5 different land names currently. Next turn, I can activate the mazes in declare attacks and then rotate and make a zombie before blocks. If that's where I decide I want to be. And maybe I'll just draw Manabond and go insane. Wrist. Not the insanity I was hoping for. Stomping Ground tapped. Pass a turn. We go into the throne here. We see Archon of Emeria, Seasoned Dungeoneer. Yeah, they went with Dungeoneer. There's a Peacekeeper there and some other stuff. But Dungeoneer right back into the dungeon. We know they're out of planes. They do get to explore this turn. I'm going to let the Explorer resolve before I do anything else. Mazavith isn't a creature. This is low risk. Picked up a Cavern. He's the Adventurer. He's the Angel. And I can crop rotate away one of the mazes. What do I want to get here? Last zone. Can I get that where it needs to be? Not really. Brachus or any of these legends? Nope. Probably just get a fetch land. This fetch land can make multiple zombies. Field of the Dead triggers. I think I'm still in the blocking phase of the game. Let's trade off with this creature. Oh wait, does this have menace? Whoops. Okay, never mind. I'm not blocking. Decision made for me. I had no idea. I think I did know that, just not consciously. Okay, they were getting through for damage no matter what. All 3 of these creatures have some sort of evasion. Fair enough. And the creature's untapped. My goodness. I could go wide on zombies this turn or play another maze, but if I play the second maze, it's also worth a zombie. I could get 4 zombies right now, or I could get 1 zombie. I think I have to get the initiative somehow, which I maze one of these creatures and then, all right, I'm going to play Field of the Dead and get 2 zombies. I'm not winning this game if I don't get the initiative. I have to endure a painful turn here to try to make that happen. And then I can turtle up behind Mazaviths and try to keep it. Seasoned Dungeoneer is no longer hexproof. Oh, they've completed a dungeon now. All their shit untaps. No, I can never get the initiative. Or they're attacking with 4 creatures and I'm going to have 5 attackers. I could just poke, take it back, hope that their hand is all blanks. They're going into the Forge here. Putting the Forge on the biggest possible creature makes sense. They give that pro creatures required to maze it. Oh, they're casting a spell. It's a cleric. There are no cards this card is allowed to take in my hand. That is a 5th creature, though, to keep the initiative. Yeah, I'm like 1 land drop or 1 turn behind here. Seasoned Dungeoneer is targeting itself. That makes sense. It sees another Seasoned Dungeoneer. I maze that one, or else I lose. I can trade off with the rest of this board, though. Right, I think I gotta make some big ugly trades. Taiga into play. Get some more zombies. Oh, if I kill the White Plume, then the untap thing doesn't happen anymore. That is a true statement of fact. Pile up on that, double block the zombie. Yeah, creatures that aren't in play don't trigger. It's out. That's my path out of here, if there is one. You're going into trap next turn. I'm going to 10, then to 5. And they have Seasoned Dungeoneer on top of the deck. It shoves the initiative forward further. Get to keep 1 creature at the end of this turn. Come on, exploration. Exploration, Manabond, something like that. Let's break it open. Relevant spell. Ghost Quarter. I can Ghost Quarter myself and get multiple land drops out of that. There's one basic left in my deck. I don't think I'm going to survive without the Maze of It, though. Yeah, not this turn. We're just going to settle in for another path through the dungeon. They get to explore twice because they'll have 2 Seasoned Dungeoneers. They have to target different creatures because they'll have protection from creatures and the second one will fizzle. Am I just dead? No, I'm at 2, maybe 1 on board. Because Elite Spellbinder is also a cleric. Here's Dungeoneer. They go into the archive, draw a card. Maybe the turn I rotated away Mazavith, I just should have picked some other land. Is literally any other land. No, Mazavith was the one I had 2 of. I had to do that to go into the field. But the field didn't matter because the thing had Menace that I forgot about. Yeah, if I just didn't make that blocker because it didn't matter, that's where I messed up this game. Okay, opponent targeted 2 creatures with the 2 triggers. I'm going to take 4 from the Angel, go to 1. Maria's Call is on top of the deck. Maze the Dungeoneer, Maze the Spellbinder. Is that one, if they block with it, dies? Where the Angel is just a 4/4. We go to 1 here, but I am currently taking the initiative. Oh, don't play another thing. Don't do anything. Stop. Stop. No. Archon of Emeria, you sicko. Okay, that one's gonna finish it off. That was my one shining moment to do anything. I'm gonna Thespian Stage Mazavith here. All of these creatures have evasion. I can't quite get through there. Manabond doesn't help now. What do I even need? Is there anything on deck? Give me the thing I didn't know about. Certainly wasn't Beseju. Yeah, the extra creature to block with here, I could have poked through, taken the initiative, but these all have evasion because pro creatures, flying. No, I didn't have it. I was not there anyway. Yeah, this was 1 exploration effect, 1 turn, 1 less creature, 1 fetch land even, if I had gotten to make 2 zombies instead of 1 on a previous turn. This was tight. GG's. All right, I'm out of here. Okie dokie. 8 mulch with limited resources. Limited resources, unsurprisingly, did very little. It did not destroy a land. It was approaching locking 1 fair deck out of making land drops at one point. And then, or no, that was against Doomsday, wasn't it? Turns out Doomsday doesn't need that many lands to function. Neither does Alurin, nor whatever the other combo deck is we played. I already forget. My brain is deleting this league already. We did beat the fair blue deck like we were supposed to, and it came down to inches against white initiative. They had a really good start. They were in a Myria build, which is even worse than normal. The Archon of Emeria. Not every list plays that, but wow, is it good against me specifically. And 1 zombie short, or 1 turn short. I'm not going to repeat all the things, but game of inches in that final round. They got me with Lauren of the Third Path. Shameful. Tilting stuff. But we did not 0-5 the league. We did see why this deck has kind of fallen out of favor. Delver, this deck really beat up on Delver and control decks, but control decks aren't a huge part of the metagame anymore. This deck feels pretty bad against initiative unless you nut draw. And even then, if you're on the draw, it's not good enough some amount of the time. Delver figured out how to play Price of Progress and Blood Moon, both of which are very good against strategies like this one. And this was a flash in the pan of brilliant innovation for a metagame that no longer exists, unfortunately. It was fun to play, though. We did get to do some crazy Manabond stuff. Honestly, I'm not going to beat up on the limited resources too hard, but in addition to doing nothing, it also took an exploration slot and a loam slot out of the deck. In a deck that relies heavily on having just redundant of the same effect. Like Exploration, Manabond are kind of the same thing. Mulch, Winding Way are the same thing. And then Light from the Loam is just more lands again. This deck is trying to be as resilient and redundant as possible, and dipping even worse than limited resources not being a card on its own, taking away from the core engine by having to find deck space in those spots is the real deck building sin here. It's all right though, we tried. We did better than last time. The last Land Destruction League we put up 0 wins with, and this one we got 1. Put that on the scoreboard forever. Beerguard, thank you for supporting the channel with your continued attempts to make limited resources and land destruction work. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.